In this video, we'll introduce the limbic system. Now, the limbic system is made of a number of components and is rather complex, but we'll have a look at some of the main parts and their main functions. So when we're talking about the limbic system, it's not just one thing, it's a number of tissues and structures that contribute to its functioning. And one is the limbic lobe. And also there's associated structures. Now, what is this? This forms a bit of a ring, and it's on the medial side of the cerebral hemisphere. And the limbic lobe has two components. And one is called the cingulate gyrus and the parahippocampal gyrus. All right, we'll have a look at where they're located. And then the other is the hippocampus itself, and it's within the temporal lobe. And it's connected to this very noticeable large C-shaped ring, white matter, which we call the fornix. And really, this is the main output track. Now, associated with the hippocampus is memory and learning. So there's some words we should start to link together: that hippocampus, memory, and learning. We also have the amygdala, and the amygdala is anterior to the hippocampus, and it's involved in behavior and also expression of emotion, and especially fear. So, as I said, the limbic system is not just one thing. We have the cingulate gyrus, the parahippocampal gyrus, the hippocampus itself. Associated with the hippocampus is something called the fornix, and also we have the amygdala. So let's have a look. We can see the structures here. Now, down here is a diencephalon, which we haven't talked about yet, but at least will give us a reference point once we get to know where the diencephalon is. And by the way, just a reminder, I've said it in previous videos, but if you're struggling to understand where these things are or really get a good visual on them, really do go watch those two videos on the 3D anatomy of the brain that are posted on our site. That gives you a really good walkthrough. It shows you the structures, it isolates the structures. You get to see them from various angles, and that will really help with you understanding the anatomy of these. So we have, as I said, diencephalon, which is not directly part of the limbic system, but it sort of is a placeholder and tells us where we are in terms of the brain. And let's have a look. So we're going to look at the fornix, and you can see the fornix is right there. We can see the fornix right there. And what is it? It is the primary white matter output track from the limbic system. So the fornix is really how information leaves the limbic system once it's decided upon what's going to occur and its various outputs. And then we have the limbic lobe. And the limbic lobe, you can see, follow up here, you can see the limbic lobe, okay? And that's made of the cingulate gyri and the parahippocampal gyrus. And once again, this is gray matter cortex involved in memory formation, retrieval, emotion, and learning. So you can see a lot's happening here. And then we have the hippocampus itself, the hippocampus. And remember, these structures are bilateral. And the hippocampus, it's a nucleus involved in learning and memory. And then lastly, we have the amygdala right at the end here, amygdala right there. And a nucleus involved in behavioral expression of emotion, and particularly fear. Now, once again, this is a very brief overview and just giving you a sense as to where the structures are and a little description of their functions. You know, these are rather complex structures, and certainly at higher levels you'd spend much more time looking at them, but this is a good place to start. Now, I'll say it one more time. If you're struggling with where these things are located, make sure you go back, look at those 3D anatomy videos, look at other videos that are also posted there, some of the crash course, and really use all your resources. Don't forget, you get into your textbook, read the textbook, look at it. Frequency of studying is a big thing. And also, there are posted some of those worksheets for you to work your way through to help you learn the material and also review the material. Okay, we're going to leave it there. In the next video, we'll come and start talking about the diencephalon.